This is the FC London podcast. I am Daniel Monroy and I'm joined by...
Stiven Mikhail, head coach of the men's team and technical director of the academy.
So Coach Stiven, let's talk a little bit about those last two games because we haven't spoke in like 2 weeks. You've played against Pickering and Guelph. Both games you tied them. Let's first talk about like Pickering game. What were your sensations about that last game?
So Pickering game, I was still out with a red card. I didn't travel with the team. I just gave a dossier to Coach Will to kind of go over, and I believe we completed the mission of what we wanted to do. We wanted to walk away with points, which we did. We were losing 1-0 in the first half. We were playing a 4-2-3-1, and then in the second half we made some adjustments, and we ended up tying the game. Which, if we played about 5 more minutes, I think we would have won that game.
Right. And about the Wolf game, what were your sensations about that game? Another tie, not lose again. That's a good sign. Because before we were losing a couple of games. It seems that we're improving. But what happened in that game as well?
So the Guelph game. So first and foremost, we have one of the youngest teams in the league.
Yes.
The league has changed vastly since the introduction of the tier system of Premier and Championship. You're getting paid players now. You're getting former pro players now. So what we've done is a majority of our team is academy players. A lot of them are under 20. So it's difficult to find that experience, but that fight is there. So against Guelph, we were losing 1-0. They scored right before the half, and we went in again, made some adjustments, and we ended up scoring to tie. Guelph has 3 almost 30-year-old players.
Okay.
I believe their captain is 31.
Okay, yeah.
They had a center mid who was 29 and a striker who was 29 years old. So we knew it was going to be a difficult game, even though they haven't really showed their potential in terms of points.
Right.
That's the thing. This league has become a little bit unpredictable in terms of that, but as long as we keep the fight. And I know you said we had a couple losses. We just had one. So for me, that's a massive accomplishment with one of the youngest teams in the league. But it's, sometimes it's not up to us for the wins or the losses, believe it or not.
Right, makes sense. Something we were talking about off camera is about the speed of the league. That is, the players are playing at a high speed. Mm-hmm. Comparing it to like the other leagues that you've been a coach in, how can you compare like the speed in this league?
It's really fast. The first thing when I brought Chris Rahman, our Bahamas national team player who played in Romania.
Yeah.
When he watched our first game before he played, he just sat on the sideline and said, "Coach, it's really fast." And that's the truth. Technically, you could say maybe we're not the most gifted country, but in terms of pure athleticism, the speed is ridiculous. We're fast. We press. It's very difficult to adjust for somebody coming from Europe or coming from any other country. Just coming here and seeing the speed of play is very difficult for them to adjust. So I would say, in terms of speed, we are possibly one of the fastest I've ever had the chance to go.
Would you say that the speed level of the league it's good for your team because like the way you like to play, that is counter-attacking? Mm-hmm. Would you say that it's beneficial for you the way you like to play?
Absolutely. Again, with the speed, even when you're doing the counter-attack, there's teams that are just really good in transition as well.
Right.
That's what we're working on right now is our transitional play, whether it be going forward or defending. And my job at the end of the day is to organize the team. And once we get organized, I think we'll see a lot more success. It's just right now there's a lot of rotation going through the squad. I'm still trying to find the best 11, even though that's not my style. My style is more I work in units. This is my defending team. This is my offensive team. This is the team that's going to save the game or save the result. So I'm still tweaking that and trying to find the best players for it.
You told me last time is that you're a coach that tends to rely on young players. In the last 2 games, have you been able to put some young players out there? And if so, what has been your thoughts about them? How have they played?
So I can tell you this: in the last game, losing 1-0, and right before the final whistle goes, Dan Morgan scored. Dan Morgan is, I think, 19 years old. He's not He's not one of our older players. And again, the younger players came on in the second half and made things possible. They started to work, and they're hungry and they want to play, and it is what it is. So again, I was not let down. So yes, the younger players are definitely making a breakthrough for us.
How do you feel about that, having that competition? Because I'm pretty sure it's like a good sensation from yourself that seeing that the lineup it wants to play, they're hungry to play, but also the other players that are not in the first lineup, they also want to play. So like there's like a little bit of a competition. How do you feel about that?
Absolutely, that's what I create in all my teams. If you see my U19 team that I had in Hungary, the team that I coached after that, the team that I'm coaching now, I've always created a atmosphere where there's good and healthy competition, and letting them know, hey, if you don't do well for 2 or 3 games, no, guess what? You're not going to start. So this week you'll see probably a complete new lineup again, just because again we're trying to get results, we're trying to stay in the league and do what we can, and you're going to see something different this week as opposed to seeing the usual, if there is usual.
We've tied the last 2 games, but something that I see, or something that is kind of different between the last 2 games, is that in one of them you were not in the pitch, you were suspended because of a sanction that you had a couple of days, a couple of weeks ago. I mean, do you think that some decisions by the referees, some decisions by the referees have been affecting the team or have not been fair?
Absolutely. I will send you the pictures to attach to this as I'm talking.
Yes.
So the first game against Oakville, the plan was correct. Oakville did score in the first half. The second half we came out. We scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. We're winning 2-1. They could not score against us. I promise you, they could have been there for hours. But their 2 goals were offside. And it was given. And you'll see once I send the picture. You can attach it to this. And then we go ahead and we face, for example, here at home we faced Whitby. We had a lot of calls that were against us that just did not make any sense. Just a quick example where a defender, the ball is coming in, his eyes are locked in on the ball, and as he goes to head, the striker comes and hits him, and the striker gets the foul. And it's like, but the eyes were always on the ball. So it's questionable things like that, and especially in the last game, which again I will send you. You can attach it to this. A handball, a clear handball in the box, and it was just you sit there, and the thing is, I've done 3 laws of the game courses, and I try to do them as much as I can because laws are always changing. And I always sympathize with referees because, 180, 170 heart rate, he's got to make a decision in a split second. And, I've done those courses so I understand and I feel for them. But it comes to the point sometimes where it's altering. Imagine us not winning the league because we dropped 3 points that we shouldn't have dropped. Or now we're not in the cup anymore because the linesman couldn't see 2 outside. So I don't mind, it happens, it's the game, but to consistently happen, you start to think to yourself, what's happening here? And I'm not on the bench for the last 4 games, so I couldn't influence anything or say anything to referees. So it makes you think a little bit, like what's the standard here?
I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think that now maybe the next few games that you're going to be able to be on the bench and in the pitch, like, I don't know, bringing some positivity to the players, you're going to bring a different result to the matches?
I think so. I think the coach on the sideline is very, very important. There's a different type of energy that we give. My boys know me. They hear my voice, and I think it makes a big difference. Absolutely.
You've been during this coach career for a long time in different countries. Last time we were talking a little bit about licensing, about being a coach. It got cut off. We were not able to add it to the Pulp podcast, but I wanted to add it to this one. And if you could expand a little bit about licensing.
Yeah, so licensing is not very easy. It doesn't matter where you do it, whether you do it in Canada or Europe, even North America. The USSF is a very difficult license to get, same with CONCACAF and Europe. But basically what it is, you start with grassroots. Grassroots is a course that most likely you can get in. It depends on how many they have. Then you go to your C license. Once you do your C license, which takes about 6 months, you have to wait about a year lapse to apply to the B. Right. You apply to the B, that takes a year to get, and then you got to wait another year, and then you can apply to the A. The A, which is run once or twice a year, of 25 candidates each. again, is a year. You have to wait another year after that. Then you go to the pro license, which is only 20 candidates every 2 years. And by the time, like I started my coaching career in 2016. I didn't get my A license until 2025.
Long time.
It took me 9 years.
Long time.
And my resume, my background and stuff, you would think you can go through the ranks easy, but it's not. It's very, very difficult just to get in. Imagine you have a B license and you're working for London FC, and you apply to the B license in Wales, and a guy from Real Madrid, U19, coaching, and he applies. Who do you think is going to get in?
Them. Yeah.
Right? So it's extremely difficult to get these licenses, and I know some people look at coaching as, oh, you're just there at training for an hour and a half and you go home. It's much more.
There's a little background behind all that.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's very difficult and it's very expensive. And remember, you're flying back and forth. You have to go in person.
So next match against Hamilton, you're home. What do you think about that game?
Well, we're not going to take anybody lightly. I know Hamilton has yet to put some points up on the board, but I know that they also want to win, obviously. So we're going to come out as strong as we can. You're going to see a different lineup, that's for sure. We've been training really well so far, so hopefully we can take 3 points.
That's good. Is there something you want to tell to the fans to finish the podcast?
Well, I'm back. It'll be my first time on the bench since the cup match, and I look forward to hearing everybody, seeing everybody, and I hope we can make the city proud on Saturday.
Thank you for your time. That's it.
Thank you.
That was good.